Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. How y'all doing? I pray all is well, especially with all the madness that's going on. We're in the middle of a so-called pandemic and in the middle of a so-called uprising. So I just want to touch bases with y'all on a couple of things that I want to discuss. Martial law being number one. To any of you that didn't see Trump's or President Trump's his press conference yesterday, his speech, it was very interesting, to say the least. Very interesting. To those of you that haven't seen it, he pretty much said that. I'm sorry. He pretty much said to those of you that haven't seen it that he's pretty much about to invoke martial law. He said he's pretty much going to get the military to quell the rioting and the protesting, which is a dangerous thing. It's very dangerous. He's playing with fire. Why is no one talking about actually solving this issue? Why is everyone actually going around the issue? Everyone wants to have solidarity with so-called African Americans now. Everyone is kneeling now. It's kind of weird to me, but nobody is saying, hey, I have a bill here. If we can get this bill passed, X, Y, and Z, this is what we have, and this would help better the lives of the people that actually built this country for free and have been just trodden on mercilessly for hundreds of years. Where are the leaders at? Are there any leaders? That goes for Democrat and it goes for Republican as well. Then it also goes for our so-called black leaders. Where they at? Why is no one actually coming up and saying, hey, this is an antidote here that can solve this. This can fix it. This will fix everything. No one is saying anything when it comes to that. What we're saying, just like with Colin Kaepernick when he knelt, what we're seeing is the narrative being changed because of the rioting, the looting. Many of us understand that's wise enough. We understand that there are plants in a lot of these groups. Some of these groups itself come just to create problems, to make the protesters, the peaceful protesters, look bad. Even Donald Trump, he even admitted to that, and he also knows it as well. The media is reporting this as well. They know it as well. They know for the most part, the average person like myself, all we want is justice and to be treated fairly and equally like anyone else, and not to be murdered and slaughtered like dogs. Now, I'm going to go back to martial law. I said I was going to digress too much. Let's go back to martial law. This country has been under martial law for a while now. Not the martial law that we think, where we see troops and boots on the ground and on in American streets and cities, but it has been under martial law for a while now, since the COVID-19 thing. So technically, we're not going under anything new here. What they want to do now is really just put boots on the ground in American cities. That is basically what Trump was saying yesterday. We're going to put boots on the ground, and if you don't abide by this, you don't abide by that, tough luck. You might get a bullet in your ass, But there's a double-edged sword to this whole thing is not just martial law. I'm not just brought up COVID-19, Corona. This is the double-edged sword with this. You have so many people gathering around each other, thousands, in many cases, thousands and thousands of people, with masks on, some without, some with. But everybody's close, no social distancing. Everybody's yelling and screaming, sweating. There's so much that's got to be going on in the air with so many people around each other. You would think if the Rona is real, you would think there should be a huge, and I mean a huge outbreak, especially with people going to get tested, which I haven't even heard much about the Rona lately. But this morning, let me find it here. I did see a report or a posting of a, I had it and I lost it. It was here, but anyway, I can paraphrase pretty much. I did see a report this morning. They had an article on Yahoo. I mean, I said Yahoo, Yahoo. I'm tripping. On Yahoo, that was hilarious. On Yahoo, stating that over 19,000 people within the last 24 hours have tested positive for the Rona, and the thumbnail is basically showing, the headline picture is showing a lot of the people at the protest that's protesting. So I'm asking myself, like, when I read this morning, I was like, oh, this is hilarious. I said to myself, so what? You mean to tell me everybody protested when got that big old butch come down under their eye, the F-way tag on to their throat almost. So they went and got tested after they went out protesting, and some even went out after looting and shooting. Something doesn't make sense here. It doesn't. How do you know in the last 24 hours, these protesters, which you're insinuating the protesters are the ones that have been infected, newly infected, over 19,000 within the last 24 hours? How do you know that? Do the protesters even find time to sleep? The protesters, like right now, honestly, I think the last thing the protesters are worried about right now is the Rona. It just doesn't look like they're concerned about the Rona to me. Something that do concern me, though, and I have to say this as well. I've mentioned this before as well. Probably not on camera, but to many people I've spoken to. Be careful for this other shoe that's about to drop. They're about to drop a bomb. They're about to drop another shoe. It's about to drop. Regarding this situation here, with the Rona and with the uprising. So you have two things that's happening that is historic in not just this country's history, but also world history as well. I think, and this is something that you guys can also chime in on if you want, I think they're going to use the Rona as an excuse to infect a whole bunch of people. And it's probably not even going to be the Rona. Because right now, nobody knows what the Rona is. Still don't know what it is. So I think they might plant a bug. The same way that they're planting these paid insurgents into the protest. They can easily infect thousands and thousands of people with deadly diseases, deadly toxins. They can infect and easily kill off Would that not be an ingenious plan? That's something a Joker would do. Would that not be an ingenious plan? And then you can say, hey, we told y'all the Roman was out there. We told y'all social distancing. Told you wash your hands. We told you stay home. Hey, but y'all didn't want to listen to us. So be very careful. Be very careful with the way the Rona and the protest over the death of and this social injustice for many of our brothers and sisters that have came in and went at the hands of merciless, evil barbarians. Yeah, I said it. You can like it, you can love it, you can leave it. It doesn't matter to me any. The truth is what the truth is, and the truth will always reign supreme, regardless how much you try to flip it, you try to take it, you try to turn it. Now, we must be very, very careful. We're at a stage, we're at a time in history that many of us have never seen before, or anything close to it or like it. We have, grandparents that can take us back and relate in a little bit and say, oh, that ain't nothing. Y'all should have seen when they did this, that, and the other. We lived through it. But to also go through the lockdown and deal with the quarantine at the Rona at the same time has got to be something that is just unheard of. Sound like they're about to go bomb another country. Let me stop. Let me leave the barbarians alone. But back to what I'm saying. We must be careful because we have two things that's very deadly right now, and they're mixing together. Allegedly, the coronavirus is deadly. Allegedly. We know there's race soldiers out here and killer cops out here. We know they're deadly. Now, the military is coming in now, who really can't do but so much unless Trump signs the Insurrection Act or something like that. I believe it's an insurrection law or something like that. And then they can actually physically do things to American citizens and not just patrol the streets, but also shoot at you, kill you, imprison you, and all kinds of other things or whatnot. So be careful with that. But I'm going to sign out. Oh, also, before I go, to those of you, welcome to Polluted Mindz. To those of you that have never heard of Polluted Mindz, the group before, we are Polluted Mindz. I am Mr. Keys. You'll see me sometimes here and there. You might see me many times, but I'm Mr. Keys. I'm one of the members of the group. I'm not the head, I'm not the tail. I'm just one of the members. Also, we have a video, a discussion I had yesterday with, actually a couple of days ago, I had with a good brother of mine. I think you guys will find it interesting. His audio is a little shoddy because his phone was muffling and going in and out a bit. But I think it's a good conversation. You'll enjoy it. You'll enjoy it. You'll enjoy the conversation. Okay, I'm signing out. I have to go take care of some business. I love you guys. I'll be dropping that video on Facebook. I'm not going to do anything on the gram because we're not on the gram heavy yet. And here on YouTube. You guys have a good one. Enjoy your day. Be safe. Take care of your families. Stay focused. Don't let them distract you too much. Stay focused. Keep your mind sharp at the same time and get prepared for what's to come. I'll holler at y'all later. We just getting started, baby. We out this joint at the same time. You feel me? Now let me stop.